Hold the women back.
Mom, stop embarrassing me while we're live.
And now we should be live on Facebook.
It will be, yeah. We're live on Facebook, definitely. Mom, you're embarrassing me. Stop. Stop.
Mom is embarrassing you in front of everybody.
Hello,
everyone.
World. Hello, Mindy Watkins, the first one this time on YouTube.
Woohoo!
Oh, sorry, I forgot. You have to see this too.
Boys in the noise. I still need to find out what that means. That's the second time Dave has posted that when his show is starting. Hey, everyone.
Let me see. Wait, no. Sorry, I'm trying to shrink this so then we can see more comments.
Martella, Susan, Denise, Gail, Maureen, Godfrey. Godfrey, is that your real last name? I've always been curious. So, all right, Christine.
That is
Jen.
a complex last name if it is.
How's everybody going over here on YouTube? Let's check that out. So today it's the Mike and Dave show again. Are y'all getting tired of us yet?
Yep.
I hear Tara. Shh. She's not here.
She's not working.
She's not here. If we say that over and over again,
she eventually vanishes.
You don't hear me.
Might eventually be true. So, any questions that we should hit before we go? Today, Dave and I are making homemade biscuits.
And I totally was not eating bread earlier.
You were not eating bread earlier.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So.
These are really good, by the way. So.
Yeah, actually, Tara suggested it when she is not working. But yesterday she made biscuits and gravy, and I'm not going to be making the gravy today. We were just feeling like the biscuits. But
dude, yesterday she made these tiny versions that were like crackers size.
So she made the same ones. But I forgot to get a glass.
Oh, yeah, she cut them with this tiny little cutter.
Little baby biscuit cutter.
And they were like cracker sized, and they were so adorable because she had like 100 all assorted on one baking pan.
She's just the live studio audience. Yes, that's true. Hi, Shannon. Good to see you.
Oh, also, happy birthday to my my awesome sister. So.
Oh!
Yay.
This time, 20 years ago.
I didn't, I wasn't
Yes.
there
You
for
were
that.
saying, should she be breathing like that?
Yeah. So this is Ellie's birthday, and like you heard from our live studio audience. Yes, yay! As you heard from our live studio audience, it was about this time 20 years ago that I was starting to say, should she be breathing like that? And they assured me, yes, that's absolutely fine. 4 hours before they were sending Flight for Life. So anyway, that's another story. But it's Ellie's birthday today, and we're just celebrating with her. And we actually, for those of you who know how much they cost, you'll know the appreciation that she didn't have any desire for particular gifts. But we did get her some Mochi ice cream, which is
Don't tell it with Mom
tasty,
here. No.
but pricey. So, but only for her special occasion.
Can
Hello,
you put
Jack.
Mom
Okay,
these?
today, hey Jack, can you get me a glass, like a round one that's straight? Oh yeah. The studio audience reminded me that we are having a sale right now on our classic edition Dining on a Dime cookbooks. Let's see, not this classic. Not this is the new one. I don't see where the classic one is.
You want me to just go get one?
Sure, Dave's gonna go get it. We are having a sale, I forgot, on our classic Dining on a Dime cookbooks. We're getting some new books in, and we thought we'd maybe clear out some space in the garage, or the warehouse, sorry. But we also discovered that the price of shipping was going up at the post office. No, we haven't decided what we're doing with that yet, but the post office is raising their prices, so we decided to go ahead and put our classic ones that we still have on sale for half price. We haven't had a half price sale in several years, and when these run out, the other book is a little bit more expensive, and we probably won't be marking that one half price. And we only have 1,000 of these left. So if you're interested in them, Dave will share the link, or you can go to livingonadime.com and click on the store, and the classic ones are there. Most of what's in the new one is also in this one, but there are a few things that are different in the new one. And they make great gifts. So if you're the type of person that stocks up on gifts, especially like for Mother's Day coming up, or weddings or birthdays or whatever, this would be great for that. So just go to the store at livingonadime.com. So we're going to go ahead and get started on the biscuits, except I have a lot of people helping. Oh, Okay.
A lot of people who aren't working helping us.
Dave, can you turn the light back over here, please? Because the production guy is now the talent. Just kidding. All right.
Sorry.
So these baking powder biscuits are so easy. And they're really faster than they're going to be when I make them because since it's the show, I'm going to, take a little time and we're going to chit-chat. But I really, really loved biscuits when I was younger, and I had a recipe and kind of tweaked it a whole lot as we were writing the first book. This first book, the original Not Just Beans.
We should revert back to
And
that.
we were living in Idaho at the time, and I don't think we had kids yet.
No.
And so every weekend I would remake the same recipe differently until I figured out how to make it awesome. So today we're sharing the awesome. Oh, hey, Dave, let me grab that.
Today we're sharing the awesome.
Today we're sharing the awesome. I guess I'm going to have to look in this classic Dining on a Dime cookbook because I don't remember what the recipe is. So, baking powder Mike's 54. All right.
Whoa.
Okay, here we go. Now we're ready. All right, so, Dave, can you go tilt down the camera, please, as we get started here? And through the magic of television.
I'm doing the force.
Yeah. All right. So, this recipe is on page 54 actually on the old Dining on a Dime. I forgot what it is in the new one. I guess I should be giving the new one page numbers. But anyway, Dave will share the link for those of you who don't have the book in front of you. And so it's very easy. It only has 5 ingredients. And I'm going to start with the flour. So there's 2 cups of flour. And I actually tried this with a lot of different ingredients at the time, and it was interesting to see how changing one thing would cause something different to happen. So there's the 2 cups of flour, 2½ teaspoons baking powder. And for those of you who noticed, I used a whole lot of cornstarch on that. Uh-oh. You said there was baking powder. Do we have any more? I don't have 2½ teaspoons.
Hang on, I'm
here.
going to the emergency stash.
Yeah, that's probably 2 now. Yeah, go check the emergency
For
stash.
regular fallout purposes.
Whoops. Okay, that's about just...
On the shelf.
So Dave is going to go check the emergency stash because I called my non-working
Mr. I check all the
spouse,
ingredients before I do anything.
who assured me that we had everything we needed. Oh wait, this is a tablespoon. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I said. I'm pretty sure that was.
Okay, so that's pretty close to 2½. I'll say that's close enough. Yep, I got the wrong one.
Save the day.
Oh, I'll probably put just a tad bit more when Dave comes because I think I was just a little short. Oops. Okay, so for those of you who were writing in all caps, that's a tablespoon, Mike. I just got the message. And Dave went down to our emergency stash and found me some more. So I think we're just about this much short. So I'm kind of winging it slightly. And one thing I discovered is, as I'm looking precariously into the bowl, you can actually vary slightly from the recipe. The baking powder is probably the one ingredient you want to vary the least with because it can cause it to be too flat or too... it has kind of not a salty taste, but similar to a salty taste that's not as good as salt.
Ooh.
Okay, so I put the flour and the baking powder and the salt in. I'm stirring them all up
Watching you guys.
just to mix it a little. Who says that?
Rachel Seacrest?
Well, thank you, Rachel.
Seacrest? I don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's secret with an S.
So I just stirred it initially just because the next things I'm going to put in are wetter ingredients, and I wanted to make sure that the powdery things are just a little bit blended. Okay, so then I'm going to start with some butter, or I'm going to take some butter, and I have 5 tablespoons in the recipe. And I put margarine at the time because that's mostly what we were using. I like butter better, but butter's more expensive, so it's up to you.
Self-rising flour.
What?
Is it self-rising flour?
No, sorry, this is all-purpose flour. Would self-rising work?
Yeah, but you'd have to cut out the baking powder and the salt.
How much of the baking powder and the salt?
All of it.
Tar says self-rising flour would work, but you would need to cut out the baking powder and the salt. So there you go. We've never bought self-rising flour, have we? Is it more expensive?
Yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's a great recipe for it in our Dining on a Dime cookbook.
And Tara's not working, by the way, but she says that there's a great recipe for self-rising flour in our Dining on Dime cookbook. Okay, so when I originally got this recipe before I made it mine, it had, I think it had shortening, and I prefer butter and margarine. I tried actually a combination of different ones, and the shortening was a little bit softer, but the butter made it crunchier. So, oh, by the way, as you see me cutting it, there are little marks right here on the side of the butter, if you've never seen this before, that actually tell you how many tablespoons. So each little section there is a tablespoon. And so when I do the 5 tablespoons, I just kind of cut it based on that. And to be honest, I'm a little bit liberal with my butter. So,
A little bit?
yeah. So that should be 5 tablespoons right there. But if it was a little more, it would not hurt anything.
If Mom were working, she'd just throw in the whole stick, so don't worry about being too liberal.
So at this point, you take this and you kind of mix. See, I just dropped the butter in, and this is a little softer. Previously, a lot of times just took it out of the fridge, and it's fine if it's softer as long as it's not melted. So I'm going to go in here and blend it with this fork. You can use a pastry blender, but to me, a fork's a lot easier to clean after you're done. So
You didn't say what you put in with the black lid there.
I didn't put this in. What is this?
Salt.
Oh, so this is salt, and I didn't realize that Tara, who's not working, staged it for me. Thank you very much, my love.
Mister, the sky is falling. I've got 30 minutes of work to do in
So-
15 minutes.
So I grabbed this salt off the stove. So the one with the black lid is nothing that we're using. So, wow, it's been a while since I've made these. So
I
you
haven't
basically,
made those for years.
I know, mainly because for a while I thought I couldn't eat it.
Hey, we should make mini pizzas with this recipe. Like
So-
have this and then pizza.
I'm just pushing the butter against the sides to kind of force it to blend into the flour. And if you can look at that, you can see now it looks sort of like cornmeal. And that's the consistency that you want it to be. So now I'm going to take the milk and add that. This is where the fun begins. Just kidding. Okay, so if you see the recipe says a scant cup of milk, and that just means maybe just a hair less than a whole cup. Otherwise, it might get a little too wet. So I'm going to just leave a little bit out and then stir this all up. The main thing is if it's really wet, you have to add more flour to make it less wet. If you add too much flour, it kind of affects the recipe then. So it's all mixing up nicely. And this is one serving, which I'm not sure, it says 10 to 12 biscuits is what we had come up with, but sometimes I make them big, so it might be less when we're done.
Biscuit cutter is.
Pardon me?
Depends on how big your biscuit cutter is.
Yes. It does depend on how big your biscuit cutter is. And yesterday, Tara made them with a small biscuit cutter, like this. Not really. I usually make them about this
I
size.
have the exact size here. She made them with this sized one.
And if you don't have a biscuit cutter,
That's like half the size of a normal biscuit.
if you don't have a biscuit cutter, you can use a glass that you just dip in flour and spin it around. And the idea with the flour is to just to get it to not stick.
They want to know if you turn the oven on.
Okay, so the oven is, oh wow, that's a little too much flour. The oven is on. My love, can I turn it up?
Yep.
Okay.
Is that roast?
It's preheated.
It's not preheated all the way. Tara was making a roast in the oven when I got home. And so I did not adjust the oven because I didn't want to burn the roast. And it's our slow cooked roast, by the way. Dave, I don't know if you can find the recipe on the site and share it, but that would be awesome. We have an amazing slow cooked roast recipe. It is in both versions of the Dining on a Dime cookbook. And it's on our website as well.
No, you can't see the flour. You can't see any of it.
Hold on. No, you can.
So, while the tech team is talking in the back, I'm going to, so I put a little flour on here, and I've got this that I stirred up. And I put this flour on here so that it doesn't stick. And I get a little flour on my hands because I'm about to knead it just a little bit. And, well, I'm not really kneading it. I'm putting it into a ball. So, I scoop it all out like this. Man, we used to make this for breakfast at least every weekend. Sometimes I would do it more when we lived in Idaho. Just depended. I did it on the days when I wasn't working. So, all right. Set that aside. All right. Now, what I'm going to try to do is not work it too much. Yes. Oh. Did you see a comment or something? Oh, okay. All right, so I've got it into a ball, and now at this point I don't really have to do much to it because I've already stirred it sufficiently. So I'm going to roll it out, and I forgot to see if we have a rolling pin. Do we still have a rolling pin?
Oh, yeah.
Which
The little one.
The bit-
Use-
Oh, use the little one? Okay. All right, so I'm just going to roll it out. Now, you can roll this as thick as you like. I like to have them a little thicker than, actually I don't even really need the,
Aw, thanks, Cora, for ordering.
don't even really need the cutting board. I'm not sure why I did that, actually.
Helps
guess-
us clean up the mess.
Tara says it helps clean up the mess. I used to just do it on the counter. And okay, so I've got this at about half an inch thick.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's kind of where I like to do it. Some people make it thinner or thicker. And you can get thicker biscuits, but then there'll just be fewer of them. So then I go ahead and cut these out. And I forgot, do I spray ungreased cookie sheet? Okay. It's been a while since I've done this. Okay. So I'm taking these and I'm cutting them out and I'm just putting them on this cookie sheet right here. I wasn't sure. All right. Very easy. Can't believe we're this far into it already.
Well, yeah, this is like a 15-minute show.
And you can cut these, like I said, with the cup if you don't have a cutter or any size cutter. And I think we figured that the typical biscuit cutter would make 10 to 12 biscuits.
Yeah, that's a big cutter.
And this is a big cutter, so it may make a few less. Actually, I think I made these a little thinner than I used to. I rolled it a little thinner. Okay, so then at this point there's not enough for a whole biscuit, so then I, mix it all together again. Oops. And if I get too much flour in between, it doesn't want to stick. Okay, there you go. Now I'm going to flatten that just a little more. And this time I'm not even going to use the roller. And I'm going to make that one a little thicker. Woohoo. And throw that one on there.
Carolina says these biscuits look so easy to make.
They are very easy.
They like really easy.
And if I was in a hurry, I could make them. You know what? That one's perfect. Okay, so I don't usually cut it with that. Sometimes I just kind of smush it together, and I forgot what you call that, but that's
The dog biscuit.
the dog biscuit. Tara calls it the dog biscuit.
No, that's what you called it.
Oh, I called it the dog biscuit?
Dutch oven cookie.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot. See, Tara remembers back in the day when I worked on a Dutch oven and camp cooking show on PBS, and that's what the guy who was the host did. All right, so that's what they look like before we put them in the oven. Wow, and that was really easy. So now this has to cook for 15 to 20 minutes at 425, which if you look in the recipe, it's there. I tend to like them a little more cooked, so I'll watch them at 15 minutes, and we might even pull it out to show you then. But I'm going to go ahead and stick those in right now. And I'm going to set the timer so I don't forget with my knuckles so I don't get stuff all over the oven. All right. Okay, so that is how easy it is to make the biscuits. Now, if you have a bigger family or you just want a lot more biscuits, you can easily double or triple the recipe. And it's still just as easy to put it together. So I should have had you make it.
No.
We should have David make one set.
No.
Oh, we should start having Dave do all the cooking.
Yeah.
Please no.
So anyway, those are really delicious. We used to eat them for breakfast with jam or butter or whatever. Sometimes we'd make a bigger breakfast where I think Tara would have eggs or something and we'd have some bacon. But she's looking to think if she remembers. But anyway, it's really great for breakfast. It's really great for like a side with dinner, a bread and stuff. So yeah. All right. So we've got about 14 minutes on that. Dave, see if there are any comments or questions from anyone. I'm sure.
I'm looking.
Oh, hey, I forgot. I'm going to remind you all that we do have our classic Dining on a Dime cookbooks are on sale right now for half price. this is the lowest they've ever been and the lowest they ever will be. And when we run out of them, we're not going to probably have any 50% off things. But there's probably about 1,000 of these left. And Dave will share the link to where you can get that sale if you're like, yes.
Wanda Hutchins wanted to know, can the dough be made ahead of time?
I see my studio audience is saying no, so I didn't have to phone a friend. So apparently it cannot be ahead of time. And I did notice one thing, it's really nice when it's soft. I think if we were to freeze it or something, it would just get too hard probably.
Baking powder doesn't freeze well, only yeast.
So my studio audience is telling me that baking powder does not freeze well. So, okay. Dave, you look for another comment, and I'm going to... I'll be right back. I forgot one thing. Well, no, I was going to talk about the giving away the show copies.
Poor Dave.
Oh, can you adjust the camera so that it's...
Okay, so there's your handsome face. Hold on.
I have to feel like...
No, just... There.
Okay, guys.
Okay, so say who's
What?
the best mom in the whole wide world, Dave? Dave, who's the best mom in the whole wide world?
I am back. So
I'd say I plead the fifth or something like that, but I don't actually know what that is.
you don't know what the fifth
Oh,
is?
Dad!
Oh, back to
dear.
school, bud.
I don't remember from,
It's 'cause
because I learned it in like 3rd grade, but I just totally,
Oh dear.
3rd grade when you probably are less likely to know what it
I
means.
never learned it in middle school or high school.
Bonnie wants to know if you add sugar on top, can they be used for strawberry shortcakes? Yes.
Oh,
Add
okay.
about 3 tablespoons of sugar into the dough, and you can sprinkle some on top.
So Tara says if you add 3 tablespoons of sugar,
Yeah.
about 3 tablespoons of sugar into the dough and sprinkle some on top, they'll make great strawberry shortcakes. We also have, I think we turned this recipe into a drop biscuit recipe, which is also, I think, the cheese biscuits are garlic cheese biscuits. Are they in the books? Both versions?
Yep.
So the garlic cheese biscuits are in the classic and the new version of the book, and those are a variation of this recipe where we put cheese and garlic in there, and it kind of resembles the ones from what's that seafood place? From Red Lobster. They're really, really good.
Better than Red Lobster.
So I should have made those today too. The reason I ran into the other room is because Tara was cleaning the house, and she came up with all these Dining on a Dime cookbooks that we've used on the show, and you can see they have little love marks on them from being made on the show. Some of them have, every now and then I see this one, the pages are a little bit wrinkled, which makes me think that was some wet thing, and sometimes they have like a circle from something we were cooking. And so she asked me to do a giveaway of show books. Now these are not new books, these are classic books, and they are ones we've used on the show. And is this Penny Pinch and Mama part of that?
Yeah.
And there is also Penny Pinch and Mama in the mix, and it's got a page that's turned over here and stuff like that. So you can tell these are ones we've actually used. They're actually lightly used on the show. They're not really in bad shape. But we were going to have a drawing to give these away for anyone who would like a used show copy of our Dining on a Dime classic book. So in order to do that, I'm going to say today after the show, on the Biscuit show, there's no way to do it with Facebook, is there? Sorry, I'm asking my studio audience a question.
Well, we have figured out a way to do random giveaways on Facebook. People are having problems commenting on YouTube. How could we do that?
So sorry, I didn't think ahead of time as to how we're going to
You're gonna
have
have
you
them.
enter this. We'll have
Comment in a live stream and then
we'll
just
put a
scroll
post
through.
up on Facebook after the show for the giveaway. And for the people on Facebook, they can leave a comment in that post.
and also the YouTube one.
And then also the YouTube.
Okay.
So we'll do 3 on YouTube and 2 on Facebook.
So on Facebook there will be a post
Yep.
that's separate from the show.
The same
Okay,
comment
So
picker.
so how we're gonna do this,
for
just to
Facebook
make
too.
sure that
Oh, okay.
anyone who has trouble posting on YouTube can do it, is after the show, you have to wait till the live show is over on YouTube, and give it about 5 or so minutes after that, 10 minutes, because YouTube has to process it. Then go back to the show and put a comment there, and we will enter you in. All the people that are commented and subscribed will be entered in for
I was gonna hug
one of these show books. That's, again, gently loved and
So they have
used.
to tell us what is their favorite recipe that we've ever made for the comment, and we'll pick from those people who say what is their favorite recipe they've ever made.
Okay, so Tara, who's not here today, but she said, in your comments, just say what's your favorite recipe you've ever made out of Dining on a Dime or off of our website, right? Because if they don't have the book
Yeah,
already. Okay,
yeah.
and then
Or
if
want to try.
or what are your favorite recipes you'd like to try? Yeah, sure. Then if you're on Facebook, Tara said that she will have Heidi post Heidi, are you hearing that? She'll have Heidi post a separate post on Facebook so that you guys can do the same thing. Put a comment that says what it is that you, your favorite recipe that you've made, or if you've never made one you'd like to make, or maybe a recipe from our website if you don't have the book and you're not really sure what's in it. Yeah. So if you do that, then on Wednesday, we will do a drawing for winners from both of those places.
And I'll sign them.
And Tara says she
Susan-
will sign them.
Actually, Susan wanted to know if Mike, Dave, and Tara would all sign them.
We can.
We can all sign them.
Get
Are
a
we sure
pen.
we want to
Do
promise
it
that?
right now.
I
Do
have
it right
terrible penmanship,
All right.
though.
So, otherwise, Dave, what are there any comments? There aren't any pens here that are functioning. Oh wait, here's one. What do you know? All right, any questions or comments right now?
I'm trying to find some.
While he's looking, I'll just say it is Ellie's birthday. And when is she coming home? She's at work right now at her coffee shop. She'll be home at all for that? We kind of had to get together yesterday
no.
for her. Oh,
Cheryl
actually,
wants
we
to-
should get the mochi out and show people what it is.
Cheryl wants to ask Tara if I can freeze uncooked soup beans.
Yes, you can.
Yes,
but they
you
last
can.
forever.
And they last forever, apparently. So, yeah.
Hey, Jack.
Mochi?
Oh, you heard mochi and then you came in here. All right.
Dude, I haven't had a mochi in forever, but I remember them being super good, so I'll see.
Here, pass these over to Mom, who's not working right now.
How about
And
She is working.
Jack, wait, hold on, let go of my arm.
I'll sign mine when I pack
That's
them.
my arm. Okay. All right. I'm going to show y'all something that we have from that we got for Ellie. Oh, well, that's interesting. I'll see who gets this one. This one actually has written in it already. David Kellum, make cheeseburger rolls. Page 182.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're not sure who's going to get that one, but that'll be the special with Dave from Love. Okay, so I'm going to reach into the freezer here and show you guys.
Love from Dave is not earned easily. Mom can tell you that for sure.
So these.
Jack
Ugh.
can't tell you that.
No.
So Ellie is in minimalist mode, and she really doesn't want anything for her birthday. And yesterday we had a birthday party where we got her a little pint of ice cream, and that was about it. There were a few other things, but
I got her some of this stuff.
she's kind of minimalist, and she doesn't really want to have a lot of stuff. So we thought we would go get her some of this mochi, which she really loves, but it's kind of pricey.
With ice cream and a dough ball.
I don't know if you've ever heard of this. This is not
That's flavor.
frugal. So if you're here for just frugal, this is a time to not look.
Close your eyes.
And we don't generally buy this. I think I tasted it once because I know everybody at the grocery store, and they said, hey, you want to test this? And then one time I think I bought one. And other than that, we haven't, just because they're very expensive. But this is kind of what they look like. And what they are is, it's a Japanese thing that's got kind of ice cream in the middle and I think a rice kind of skin on the outside. And they are really good.
Really good.
But I wouldn't taste them if you have a problem with resisting things that are expensive, because that they would certainly, keep you. So, are you over here, Jack, because you want to try one on the show?
Dave is so funny.
I have
So I
one
got
mango
a
and
few
one
extras so
strawberry.
we could try them on the show.
I have one mango and one strawberry. I'm not sure if I want to try it though.
So Jack, here, you take the one you want to try.
Like,
But
what
when
if-
you try it, you have to come stand over here and try it so they can see.
What if I don't like it?
Well, I thought you knew you liked it already. I thought Ellie bought you one once before.
Yeah, but that was like a year ago.
Do you want to try one, dear?
Well, I'll wait till the boys, and then if they don't like it, I'll try theirs.
So
I'm not sure.
go ahead, Jack. You first.
Squishy.
Okay, try it.
Can I go with him?
Go ahead.
Head first.
If you don't, I'm gonna. So
Wow.
now I wish we could make these. That would be really cool. So if you seriously don't like it?
I don't really like the skin alone. I accidentally bit off a part of the skin.
So it's like an ice cream. It's like a ball. It's still in focus on there, isn't it, dear?
Yeah.
It's like a ball, but if you look when you bite into it, there's ice cream on the inside, and this is like I think it's made of rice or something, a little skin on the outside. These are super tasty.
You want to try some?
But like I said, if you're one of those people that can't resist going to Starbucks to get a coffee every day, you never want to try this. So I'm gonna try one here.
You want?
Oh,
I don't really like
I should have tried that one.
I don't
Oh.
really like the strawberry
I was
one.
gonna drop it for a bit.
Man, okay, put it back in there. You don't like it at all, dear?
Mom
Okay, Tara doesn't like it. Well, there you go.
They're
I
pretty
like,
good.
So that's 1 out of 3. 1 out of 4. That's not bad.
I like the vanilla, but I don't really
Wait,
like
what?
the
1 out of 4?
Why is it
No.
1 out of 3? 1 out of 4, like me, out of all of you.
Oh,
All of you kind of were like, the boys were saying
I liked it.
they thought they'd really love it. So,
I like the vanilla
I like the
one, but I
insides.
don't really
Mama
like the...
Caraba, I think they're awful. Well, yay, you're going to be saving some money then. Tara says, yuck.
No,
See, I like
Okay,
the
Jack.
vanilla, but...
Go put these back in the freezer on that shelf where there's flat space.
they're not totally nasty, but definitely not worth the price we paid for it.
So Ellie will have more. And again, we don't generally pay this, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Don't buy this if you're going frugal.
If you're just joining us, today Dave and I are on the show, and a little bit of Jack with our studio audience who's not really here. And we were making Mike's baking powder biscuits out of our Dining on a Dime cookbook. And by the
I
way,
know about the sale. How long does it go?
yeah. By the way, our classic edition of Dining on a Dime is currently on sale for 50% off until Monday. And we only put this one on sale,
Well, Monday or if we sell out.
Monday or if we sell out. We do have 1,000 left, so I'm not sure if we'd sell out by then. But whenever this does sell out, we won't be doing any more 50% sales. And so this is really a good deal if you have like somebody you want to buy a nice gift for or whatever. It really works well. So anyway, and half of its price is less than the price of the newer version. So this it's half price. It's good until Monday. We're doing it because we want to clear some out because we have a new batch coming, but also the post office has notified us they're going to be raising shipping rates. And we thought, hey, we were already planning to mark it down to half at some point. We thought we'd do it right now so that if you want it, you can save the most and not have to, pay extra on the shipping. So
Because yeah.
this is the one that we've sold. How many do you think we sold altogether?
Dinings? Between
half a million.
ebooks and we probably have 500,000.
Yeah, I think we sold about 500,000 of these. And we now have a newer version that has a little bit more in it, but not enough more to justify that huge difference in price if you're really, on a tight budget, or if you need a gift. It's an amazing book that lots of people have loved, and they won't miss the few things that are in the new one.
2 bugs, run rug, loved your sweet and sour chicken.
Yay! 2 bugs, 1 rug. That's cute. Love the sweet and sour chicken. Yay! There were a number of people that said they made the sweet and sour chicken from the show we did last Wednesday. If you haven't made it
Dude,
and you like sweet and sour chicken, you should go do it.
It was gone before the show, and Dad had to put some on a plate specifically for Bond. And then but I didn't realize that was for him, and I was picking it off slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And he had
Kristen
half as
says
much,
Tara knows we
sadly.
can hear everything she says, right? No, you can't because I'm not here.
You wish.
I have asked Tara a few questions from time to time.
Oh, a few! I get like 15 a day!
I've been trying not to ask you mostly. In fact, you can ask Heidi. I've been asking her. So, I'm going to take a quick look. Maybe not quite ready. Let's give him a few more minutes. So, sorry, you're really excited?
I was gonna be helpful.
Thank you, Dave. Well, you can be helpful when it hits the 3-minute mark. Forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. But today, and I appreciate it, but Tara's been a little more involved than I actually asked. But I'm glad that you're involved. But
I'm gonna go find a beach somewhere.
I was hoping that she would find a beach somewhere so that this time away would be beneficial to her. So.
Okay, tell everybody to send me a beach. Where's a good beach I could go to with no computer and no phone and just sit by myself?
Well,
And
see,
no
Tara's asking,
alligators.
well, if you want a warm
don't you
beach,
go to that
you're
one-
going to have to go see Amy. in Australia.
Maybe
Why
I
don't you go
should.
to that one Hawaiian beach that's like on the island that no tourists or anyone else really goes to?
Molokai.
Molokai.
So Tara was looking. She said, "Oh, ask people to tell me of a good beach." Well, last night she was looking on Padre Island because I love Padre Island and I always talk about it. And she was looking, and then I got to thinking. This is in Texas. I'm thinking, even though it's warmer in Texas than here in Colorado, Padre Island isn't the best place to go in January. So then she was saying, what other suggestions do people have of a place that's warmer? Tara, leave the room. Calgon, take you away, says Sue.
Amy T says she's got a beach, but it's $1,000 to get to Amy T.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking,
What
but you
about
could
New
stay there
Zealand?
for a couple of years, and we could have one of those side by side broadcasts with a split screen, and Dave and I could be here, and you could be in Australia with Amy.
Let's
That
see.
would add a
Could
whole
I
new
row
dimension.
my boat to Australia?
You'd be rowing a long way. All right, so we're about probably another couple minutes away on the biscuits.
They want to know if we can do a show on how we're paying off our house.
I assume we can.
I want to do that one.
Yeah, Tara wants to wait to do the paying off the house show until she's here. But by the way, guys, I am still planning to cook some kind of Mexican / Tex-Mex food, and the one I want to make isn't very frugal. So I think I'm going to go ahead and experiment and make sure I have some idea how to make it because I've never made it at all before.
Wait, Amy said she didn't think you liked the sand.
I don't.
Yeah, but if she got to go away from us for a long time and be in Australia, she could maybe get used to it.
I'd put up with sand to have a moment.
Oh,
Oof.
that hurts. That really hurt.
So anyway,
Not that I don't love you.
Sure.
well, okay, so
What?
anyway, I was thinking about making some kind of Tex-Mex Mexican thing. I've made enchiladas a number of times before, and I wasn't sure if everybody wanted to see those again since I made them a number of times in the past.
Naples, Florida?
Naples, Florida?
Naples?
Yep, that's what Debbie says. That is a
Yeah.
place, yeah.
How
Our
exciting
Oh,
here
is
is
she?
so
Christine,
soft.
thank you. Christina's my number one soap buyer. She's bought more soap from me than anybody. Well, her and
That's
Tracy
probably good
are
enough.
run neck and neck.
Smells good.
So Dave is going to pull these out. Here, let's put two on the counter so you can just set them right here in front of
Oh,
everybody.
that's a great idea. I could do a virtual reality headset thing. Then I can go to the beach without having to mess with the sand.
Wow, that is totally the Tara way.
There you
Watch
go.
Whoa.
Oh, those look
Ooh.
delicious.
Yeah, I was telling you they were done.
Ooh. See, now they're brown. I don't know, they were a little bit.
Ooh.
They were a little bit white last time, but
So, this
good enough.
is just biscuit
Delicious.
perfection.
Put butter on it.
These are so amazing.
Should I get my camera?
Ooh. Should you get your camera?
Get the perfectly round and soft ones, and then I'll take a picture.
Yeah, but the rough ones are more yummy. So, okay, so Dave wants to take a picture, so I might just get one of the, more generic looking ones to try. Ooh, yikes. Okay. Are you wanting to try it? Oh, you can't try it. What am I saying?
No,
There's no way to make this with your Udis. Or you're not your Udis, your Pamela's. Well,
they
you
don't
don't
turn out as good. I
Yeah.
can make them, but they.
So I'm getting one of the flatter ones. Oh, but you can see how soft and gushy they are on the inside, and how well they're not wet. That's a little bit of butter from the knife I had on there.
They're not wet, they're moist.
So I'm gonna wait for Dave to take a picture before I get the most beautiful one.
They're not wet or damp, they're moist.
They want to see the butter.
Slightly moist.
Oh, see the butter. And unfortunately, I have a butter problem, so I don't eat these very much because of I love butter. So go ahead and
Okay, here. Okay, you ready?
now we're gonna have the mic taste test. First, I have to give the burn.
Don't tell Tommy Alderman.
Tommy Alderman, that's for you. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Mmm. 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 Mmm.
Are you a good cook or what?
Man, I am a good cook.
Are you sure about that?
So, the reason I like the butter is because it makes them a little crunchier,
Makes them crispy. Yep.
and
Shortening makes them softer.
shortening makes them softer. So if you want them super fluffy like a dinner roll, that would be a lot of shortening. So you can kind of experiment if you want and go back and forth between I honestly, I think if you're real smart, you'd probably do just exactly the way I made it with the butter. But if you prefer to try fluffier, you can try mixing like half and half, shortening and butter or margarine, or you can go all the way shortening if you really want them soft. But my preference is crunchy like that. So yum. And this is the flattest one I had because Dave's taking pictures. Oh, well now he's taking pictures of me. Are you done taking pictures of the biscuits?
I wasn't quite taking pictures of you. I was waiting for you to get eating.
Mike, you're making them hungry.
Yeah, I'm taking glorious pictures.
So
Amazing.
my personal preference is
Awesome.
I try to make as many of them look like this. And you can see if you look at them here.
I don't eat any.
Elena's first time watching. She loves it.
I can't eat any.
Jack,
So
not
these
yet.
ones that are more
Here.
kind of
Here.
perfectly round looking, these are the thinner ones that I used the biscuit cutter on. And then this is the thicker one where I used the biscuit cutter, but it was after I kind of remixed it, so that's why it has all this kind of unfinished look to it. And then I think this is the one that Butch Welch from Dutch Oven and Camp Cooking used to call I think he's the one that called it that, the dog biscuit, which I think is amazing in itself. I like all the unusual, weird shapes. So if you want something that's more perfect for, putting a sausage patty on, of course, here are the boys, I'm sorry, then you might want to make it the other way, but I love the most rugged ones. Okay, which ones do you want, guys? Each one of you take,
I'm doing a photography.
careful, the pan is hot.
Thing. So there's that one.
All right.
Hang on, I'm taking pictures.
These are super delish. And you know what? I didn't make anything else. Tara did make our slow cooked roast. Is that out somewhere?
Yeah, you can open it and show them.
Whoa. This is
Our food?
Oh, that's in the cookbook too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dave, you should share the link again real quick.
Yeah, I'm trying to take
So
pictures.
while I was gone, Tara, who's not working, was making this not working for living on a dime, just because she's doing that awesome.
And being a housewife.
Yeah. And this is our slow cooked roast from. It's in both versions of the cookbook and on the website, and it is an amazingly delicious recipe. It's really, really tender. It just kind of pulls apart. I would demonstrate here, but I'm not sure I have a very good way to do
You can
this.
do it.
All right. And balancing with kids, so you moms can relate. All right. Jack, here, step back just a bit while I
It's
get
not
my...
often you get moms that can relate.
So I only have a tiny fork. Can you see this okay, dear? Okay. So, see, on the top, it kind of, if you were just looking at it, you couldn't tell this, but look how it's just really, really tender. Comes apart really, really nice.
You don't even need a knife.
You don't even really need a knife. I'm just kind of pushing it apart. So, normally we would put this in, we usually serve it on rice or with potatoes, but since I have the biscuits, we'll probably do that if there are any biscuits left by the time the show is over. But,
Jack approves.
yum, this is so delicious, this roast. And the biscuits go perfectly with things like this roast, or a lot of times we'll make chicken,
Quick, Mom, share the link.
and then I'm trying to think of what else. We mostly use it, the biscuits are best with like a meat and a vegetable. I was gonna say with Dave's cheeseburger rolls, but they're almost all bread, so you wouldn't want to eat those with biscuits. But anyhow,
Okay, link time. Sorry, guys.
Dave's gonna share a link for what?
The homemade biscuits and the sale, the 50% sale that's going on.
So I don't know if Dave is going to be able to get to the slow cooked roast recipe, but if you don't have the cookbook, you can go to livingonadime.com and type in roast, and it should come up as one of those on there. It's one of the recipes that's in both versions of the book. But this classic Dining on a Dime is on sale for half price this week, which is the lowest we've had it in years. And
Once they sell out.
and the main reason we're doing it is we're making room for the other new books, and so once we sell out, there aren't going to be any more of the classic ones. So if you want to get some at a good deal, now is a great time to go get them. And it's funny, I didn't see who it was that made the comment, and I wish I had been able to email her, because somebody had written us a month ago saying, oh, I bought 14 books for family members over the years as gifts, and they all love them. And when she was saying...
Oh, posting the roast recipe in there.
she said, I just wish I knew if there was going to be a sale soon. I mean, they're worth it at the full price, but you know, I always want to save if I can. And I was thinking, that was brilliant. I kind of wish I knew who it was because there wasn't a name on the message I had. And I would like to have told her that the sale is going on right now. But anyway,
Tell
yeah.
them I'm putting a link for leftover roast recipes because I'm not working.
Tara, who's not working and in the studio, why don't you leave, girl?
Get out of here, woman.
Tara, who's not working in the studio audience because she loves all of you.
Oh, except I can't do it on YouTube because you're not signed in.
Oh, that's right. I was signed in, but I logged out.
Chloe, go to livingonadime.com. In the search, type in leftover roast and you'll find the recipes.
I thought you did slow cook for us.
Ooh, beef in a biscuit. We've never eaten it that way and dip it in the gravy. Oh, that would be delicious. Oh, I could eat.
I don't know. I just covered this thing with butter, so I don't know if I want to ruin. I mean, the gravy's not ruining it.
Yay! Bandana Grandma's on! We love you, Susie!
All right.
Yes, dining is half price for the classic, Susie.
So just for.
I might have to deliver you some.
And I set the sale to end next Monday, so I can remind you on the show if you have forgotten and you really want it. But I would go now because if for some reason it's really it really flies off the shelf, there is a possibility we could run out. So
Man,
are you talking about
good.
putting the beef in the biscuit and then dipping it, or putting it all together and dipping
No,
it?
put the beef in the biscuit.
I only have half a biscuit left.
They ate all the biscuits? Oh.
Well, no, there's three.
Oh.
There's 3 more biscuits for the dinner that we are going to have afterwards, which may or may not have any remaining biscuits. So, all right. So they said put the beef in the biscuit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, I would normally thicken it for gravy, but dip it in the.
So the
that'd
slow
be
cooked
like
roast recipe, you didn't add any salt or anything to it, right?
Well, that one I didn't. You might need to salt it.
No, I'm just saying because it's really good, just straight out of the oven without having done anything to it. Well, I put a lot of beef on here now.
And then dip it in the juice.
This slow cooked roast is probably one of my 5 most favorite recipes that we have, and so we don't eat a lot of beef, but when we do, this is one of the ones that Tara makes the most. Okay, so this is kind of like a French tip.
Yeah, I guess it would
On a
be
biscuit?
like a French dip.
All right.
Is that good? It'd be really good. I've never eaten it that way.
It
And
tastes.
I'm hungry. You guys
Well, it's funny
know.
because it kind of tastes like a French dip, except the biscuit has its own distinct flavor, and it really adds to that. And of course, for those of you who've been watching the whole show, 5 tablespoons of butter in the biscuit, you know that it's got a real nice buttery taste. So.
What? You tried to kidnap me, Jamie. I didn't see that message. Oh, man. We could have gone out to dinner or something.
So, Dave, are you looking on Facebook or YouTube, Mom?
YouTube.
Why don't you see if there are any questions or comments? My husband would love this recipe. Well, I was going to say you should make it for him, but maybe you could have him make it. It's really easy.
I didn't touch these 3 for the record.
Oh, and you know, a lot of people buy these books to teach
6.
their kids or grandkids. And because we do homeschool. Yeah, go ahead and help yourself. I don't know how much you want. We do some homeschool with Dave.
Yep.
And I know some parents use the books to homeschool their kids in cooking.
I cannot
And-
do this.
Here, just grab a big chunk. And the reason I mention that is this biscuit recipe that we made today is a really easy recipe.
You can also
There's-
learn chemistry with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dave actually had a chemistry class where they were. Well, you say what you did. I don't want to steal your thunder there.
We're basically supposed to cook a biscuit and state whether it's a chemical change or a physical change or whatnot. Say how the biscuits were different because we made like 3 types, like the drop biscuits and the baking powder normal biscuits and all that. Yeah. Simple biscuits, all that.
Yeah, so his chemistry class,
I mean,
part of the lab was actually cooking biscuits. And it was pretty cool to see him in here doing that. But what was I going to say about that?
Sorry, there's a little tiny.
This biscuit recipe is really easy. There are a lot of recipes that are really easy for kids to learn with. And the one thing is with the biscuits, obviously, somebody has to take the cookie sheet out of the oven. So if they're little kids, you'd have to do that part for them. But there are also things like no-bake fudge cookies. One of our kids' most favorite recipes to make themselves. It's no-bake. You do have to put it in a little saucepan. So again, if they're 5, that they probably wouldn't be able to handle the saucepan. But a little bit older kids with a little bit of supervision from mom or dad works great. So anyhow.
Oh, Bandana Grandma, I did not see you had a new video. I'll have to go check it out. Linda, Mike, you seriously need your own YouTube channel. He does have one, Rocky Mountain Relaxation.
Actually,
I think you need to have the Mike Show.
So we were wondering, my problem is I
Saturday
have too
night
many
with
different
Michael.
ideas.
That's
So
why
there's-
it's the Mike Show.
so there's
because
Rocky
then you don't
Mountain-
have to pick.
There's Rocky Mountain Relaxation, which I already have, and I need to go update because I have stuff that's not posted on there yet. And it's been getting a lot of followers lately. I really need to go. That's where I went up in the Rocky Mountain National Park, and it was kind of an idea that Tara, it was really inspired by Tara, but I did it because of my love for going up there. Go up there and shoot streams and things and put them up for relaxation. So that's Rocky Mountain Relaxation. But I'd also sometimes people ask just to be able to ask questions or have me talk about issues, like the other day when I was talking about feelings and how letting your feelings lead you can really hurt you. By the way, if you missed that show, you should go back and see it. It was a week ago today.
Good night, Jacqueline.
Good night, Jacqueline. So there's that. And then I'm also kind of interested in maybe doing a Bible study type show. And I thought, well, that should be a different channel from Living on a Dime, because if we just mix up too many different things, it just doesn't work out very well. And then, of course, when Ellie and I went to Ireland, we put some Ireland videos on the Living on a Dime channel, but it just doesn't mix very well. And so I was saying to Tara, I hate to have a Bible study channel and a traveling channel, an adventure channel, and other things. And she said, well, maybe you should just have a Mike, what is it?
The Mike Show.
A Mike Show channel. So maybe I might do it that way. Because Dave and I had talked about
Life with Mike.
Life with Mike.
I think that's already taken.
Oh.
Yeah, and Tara would have to do that one, and it would be an expose probably.
Oh yeah.
But part of the Rocky Mountain Relaxation, I don't remember if the video is on there or on Living on a Dime. I think it's on Rocky Mountain Relaxation, where we went, Dave and Ellie and I went snowshoeing to Dream Lake in the Rocky Mountain National Park.
Oh my goodness, that was the best lake ever.
It was so much fun. Actually, can you, since you're in the studio audience and you're not actually working today, can you go to Rocky Mountain Relaxation and see if that's on there, or the Dream Lake hike?
Life with Mike is already.
I was just curious because I was telling people where it was, but I'm not sure if it's there or if it's on Living on a Dime. But Dave and I were talking about going. We're going on a lot more hikes this year anyway, and we thought about taking the camera and making some video and taking people along. So that might be part of the Mike Show.
No, it's not.
Show. It's not on
I
there.
don't think you put it up.
It's on. It's probably on Living on a Dime then. I know I posted it. The one with the. It had a running theme of goldfish crackers, which was pretty hilarious.
I may reinvent my channel at some point, but I don't know when.
But
It'd probably have to be after I'm done, after I got my driver's license. 'Cause
Josephine says, I've been watching you all on YouTube for about a month. I love it when Tara says, are you serious? And get it together, people. Oh, have mercy. I picked the wrong month to take off.
And she says, "Oh, have mercy too."
We have had so
and
much.
good grief.
We've had so much content in our Save on Groceries Facebook group and in our emails and comments on YouTube. I'm having the hardest time keeping my mouth shut. I just really don't know if I could make it clear to February. I'm really hoping. But,
What's funny?
Oh, man.
We had a couple people, both Heidi and Tommy Alderman. They're like, "Yeah, you're never gonna make it."
Shannon McDonald wants to know, Mike and Tara, can you do a show on marriage and how you guys make it work?
Oh,
Well,
man alive. Don't
about
get me
that.
started.
Well, Tara often says she understands why they had twin beds in the 50s. But we have sort of talked about that, but I'm sure we will again.
There's a reason why they invented antidepressants.
Oh, yeah, whatever. So Dave's looking to see. Oh, we do have some. Dream Lake. This is on Living on a Dime then.
Yeah.
You should share it.
Okay.
But put a little title on it that tells people what it is. So Dave's going to share our Dream Lake hike video if you want to see that. But if we did, so instead of having all those separate channels for things, we thought about maybe combining all that into a separate Mike channel. A Mike and Dave channel.
Actually, I was going to have my separate channel too.
Okay, that's fine.
We're going to have a family branch of channels.
We
So
need a little
everyone
more
go subscribe to all the channels.
Yes. Anyway, so yeah. All right, well, so you shared that? Okay, so a couple of things still. We're getting clapping from the studio audience. Any more questions or anything? We haven't done a birthday thing in a while either. We should, too bad Ellie's not here, we should sing happy birthday to her. All right, so first of all, as I mentioned, we have some show books that we're giving away, and if you missed that, if you're on the YouTube side, wait till the show is done, go out of it, and then come back in about 10 minutes after the show is over and post there like what your favorite recipe is or a recipe you'd like to make, or if you don't know, you can go to our website, Living on a Dime, and just any recipe that looks interesting to you. And we'll enter you in the drawing for one of the show books. Those are used ones. They're lightly used, but they are signed and have the distinction of having actually been used on the show. So if you're on the Facebook side, after the show is over, I think we'll have Heidi go ahead and post a post that says, comment on this post and do the same thing. Just a description of what your favorite, or just a blurb about what your favorite recipe is, a recipe you'd like to make, or something that you've seen from our site that sounds good to you. So, and we'll be giving those away. And also, if you need a gift for somebody or you haven't got a book because of the price, whatever is your reason, we do have our classic Dining on a Dimes, half price right now, on sale till Monday, or if they should run out before then, until as long as they last. The half price is something we haven't done in a long time, and this book will run out before we probably do it. Well, we would never do it again except with this book, and I think this book will probably run out before then. So if you want to get that at a really great price that we're never going to go back to again, this would be the time. So Dave will share that link.
Two things. Number one, happy birthday tomorrow, Donna Snesco. And two, Simply Joyful said David Mike's Meanderings.
David Mike's Meanderings.
Okay, so you gotta sing happy birthday, get the lighter, to Mimi and Donna.
Wait, there was a candle. I saw a candle.
Yeah, just use that one right there behind you. Just use that or the candle, whatever.
Happy birthday.
Here we go, we'll do this.
Oh, wait.
I saw the candle
To
over.
Mimi and Donna.
Ready?
Sure.
Jack, come here. Quick. We're singing happy birthday. To Mimi and Donna.
Oh, Mimi and Donna. Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mimi and Donna. Happy birthday to you. Here, blow it out, Jack. Oh. You can't blow it 5 times. Superstitious people won't accept it. So, although I know Donna's, I assume you're not superstitious, either one of you, but just in case. All right. Wow. Oh, so we still have 6 of those biscuits left.
Oh, you guys didn't eat them all.
Look at that.
No,
Okay.
I ended up putting 3 back because I took them.
So if you're just joining us, we're about to end the show. Sorry, but we did make homemade biscuits on our show today, and you can go back and watch the show, and the link is in the description. And if you did not hear about it, we have a sale on our Dining on a Dime classic cookbooks, and you can go to livingonadime.com and click on store, and you'll find it.
I will post the link for that.
Yep.
And then we will head on out. So hang on.
So
I hope you all have a great day, a great evening, and we will see you on Wednesday,
Mom will
which
get copyright.
would be a different day if you're in Australia, but I can't say it or it'll confuse all the Americans. So anyway.
Americans are easily confused.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Jack is holding us up with his rubber band gun here, so we probably need to get moving. So,
Oh, I missed.
all right.
I have to shut it off.
Bye.